Objection calls for hearsay.
NANI?
Let me ask you a different question, Mr. Depp.
Yes. Let's let him object to another one. Had a conversation with Ms. Heard.
One reason why everyone likes Johnny Depp is because of his ability to use humor and patience as a coping mechanism to deal with pain and disrespect. And that is exactly what has made Amber so enraged. Johnny has reportedly humiliated Mr. Rottenborn, Amber Heard's lawyer, and it is not the first time. And of course, it won't be the last time either. In the opening statements of the Pirates of the Caribbean actor's defamation trial, Amber Heard's attorney claimed that her ex-husband, Johnny Depp, is attempting to ruin her life and destroy her. He also argued that while Johnny Depp is trying to coerce evidence into making the world feel that Amber Heard is the culprit and not him, he is also trying to bring Ms. Heard down via global humiliation. However, we don't think it's Johnny Depp who has been up to any sort of humiliation, it's Mr. Rottenborn who has been humiliating himself. During the trial, at an instance of questioning Mr. Depp, Mr. Rottenborn felt the need to interrupt Depp every single time he tried to answer. For instance, Mr. Depp was interrupted by malice hearsay about 4 times by Amber's lawyer and was then blamed to have been wasting the court's time. To which Johnny then responded with, "But it is you who took 5 minutes to find documents." Of course, the crowd quite lost it when Rottenborn was showed his place.
Correct?
Again.
Okay. So, you were drinking pretty heavily.
Were you there? Very ugly situation with Amber. So
Mr.
I
Depp,
doubled
with
up
respect,
the,
trying to respect the court's time and the jury's time, that was not my question. My question was
I
simply,
understand. When
you
you
would
take 5
agree,
minutes to look for a
you would agree,
document.
you would agree that on
But this wasn't the only time that Depp made sure to have turned the entire courtroom into a comedy night. In another instance, Johnny Depp was repeatedly asked by Mr. Rottenborn if he was reading the right exhibit, to which Depp just had to say, "You continue to read them right." Well, we didn't really take Rottenborn for a guy who would need so much reassurance.
Stop talking so much.
that right.
You did.
Did I read that correctly?
You did.
Okay. Did I read that right?
Yes, you did.
Did I read that right?
You continue to read them right, yes.
Moving on, during the trial, Johnny was repeatedly frustrated by Rottenborn when the lawyer tried to downplay Johnny's efforts as Captain Jack Sparrow and kept on asking him if the reports that he is reading are true about Johnny coming on the sets of the movie drunk and induced with drugs. While Johnny got super agitated with Rottenborn, he simply responded, "You read that very well. It's wonderful." And with that, Depp swept the floor once again with his humor.
Did I read that right?
You did. You should read the article. It's
And the
wonderful.
last one.
But it did not sit well with Amber's supporters, who did not appreciate the actor's quirky remarks about Heard's lawyers and their efforts in making Johnny somehow slip up over a detail, if there was any. One of the supporters of Amber Heard took to Twitter to express speculation, "Your Honor. We know nothing except that this had to be a stressful litigation for everyone concerned, except for Depp, who seemed to revel in the circus atmosphere. He's a carny at heart. Hashtag I believe Amber Heard." While another one stated the UK trial was convincing somehow. Many people didn't believe Johnny until after those audios came out. That was when everyone knew it was Amber. Plus, a lot of people continued to believe Johnny. His supporters grew a lot after this trial in court. Give her the benefit of doubt. On the other hand, after Chu, Camille Vasquez also continued Depp's opening remarks, telling the jury that while Depp might have his difficulties, he would never harm Heard. She claimed that Depp's mother lived in wrath that frequently heated over and caused abuse toward him and his father in the home. Depp, like his father, chose to simply accept it and sit there. She also acknowledged Depp's use of drugs and alcohol. Heard said that Depp's drug use caused violent outbursts. Jurors were instructed not to believe Vasquez as a result. She asserted that having drug or alcohol problems did not automatically make one an abuser. As far as what Mr. Rottenborn feels Depp was doing is that Johnny doesn't know how to respect the court. Yes, that's right. Depp is going to try to turn this case into a soap opera about his turbulent relationship with Heard, according to Heard's attorney, J. Benjamin Rottenborn. The question of whether Heard was exercising her First Amendment right to free speech when she wrote her op-ed against domestic violence, which omits even mentioning Depp by name, is at the heart of the lawsuit. The reply was emphatic yes, according to Rottenborn. Moving on. When Rottenborn finally finished reading the entire opus, he claimed that it was abundantly clear that the article's purpose was to discuss a topic that would have an impact on pending legislation rather than to dredge up allegations against Depp. Had she intended to describe her relationship with Depp, believe me, the article would have looked very, very different, Rottenborn further added. He then went on to further exclaim she could fill a book with those details. She would have told you about the monster, but she didn't. That wasn't the point of this article, because of the not very attractive nature of the evidence that was shown at trial. Rottenborn questioned why Depp even filed the lawsuit in the first place. But there still seems to be quite a confusion about whether or not Amber's lawyers were even competent enough to fight for her. Right? Lawyer Elaine Bredihoft was overconfident, a source acquainted with Amber Heard's legal approach told the New York Post. From the beginning, Elaine was very confident. They thought Johnny Depp's burn email was enough to prove the case. They were too confident and they screwed up. Their team was outdumped, the source stated. As the high-profile trial's final day came to a close, Elaine Bredihoft, Amber Heard's lawyer, reportedly sobbed, according to a bystander. On the last day of the trial, attorneys for both sides pounded home their arguments for why the jury should rule in favor of their respective clients after 6 weeks of testimony from the celebrities themselves and a crowded list of witnesses. Several hours after the jury's first day of deliberation started, a person who has been in and around the court throughout the proceedings and goes by the Twitter handle @JamesFromCourt revealed on Twitter that Bredihoft was in tears. According to James, late after trial. Before the jury went home, #Elaine Bredihoft left for the bathroom crying. We all felt terrible for her. After she came out, we tried to make her smile. I hope it helped. Well, no wonder Amber had to switch her legal team to a new one right after the trial. While @JamesFromCourt and those with him at the time noted how it must be tough for her to deal with all of this public attention, he added in a subsequent tweet, they were unaware of the reason Bredihoft was apparently sobbing. However, Bredihoft and the rest of Amber Heard's legal team have not yet issued any press remarks regarding this. However, Amber Heard's legal team has been extremely confident in the defamation trial surrounding Johnny Depp's case against her, according to attorneys who have been commenting on the trial on YouTube, despite suffering considerable ridicule online. When the trial started on April 12th, Depp's supporters flocked to the actor on social media, supporting his allegations of violence against Heard, which she rejects, and demonizing her with jokes and insults. The California attorney Elena Masica, though, who regularly streams the trial on YouTube, told Insider that she thought Heard's attorneys had been doing an admirable job despite widespread derision on social media. According to her, I do think that both sides are very competent. While she added that after first seeming to take some time to get used to working on this well-known case, Heard's staff appear to have hit their groove. Masica specifically mentioned Rottenborn, saying she thought he has done some very effective cross-examinations of some Johnny Depp's witnesses, and that he has had some successes in being able to cut off the witness where necessary and maintain that control over the narrative that comes out through that witness. However, Heard's team has made several unforced errors, which is a legal phrase for blunders that could have been prevented, according to Emily D. Baker, a former Los Angeles district attorney and current YouTuber. One important instance that received harsh criticism on social media was when one of Heard's attorneys, Adam Nadelhaft, appeared to object to his own question when attempting to strike something from the record. Yep, that happened. And now, time for a little twist. The law firm Brown Budnick and its prominent partner Camille Vasquez have reportedly been retained by the rapper Kanye West, who recently changed his name to Ye. According to reports, the company is defending Ye in a business dispute after the rapper's anti-Semitic remarks and assertions regarding the passing of George Floyd led to the termination of his contracts with Balenciaga and other businesses. While the drama never seems to leave these celebrities alone, this is all for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.